How well do you remember Disney's Hercules? Because I'm about to challenge your parental feelings towards Zeus and tell you that he was in on Hercules being turned mortal as a baby. Hey guys, you have McGann, and this is the Fangirl, where I cannot leave any plot hole alone, and we have got to talk about Hercules again. The Disney version, I mean. And yes, we're going to stick to the Disneyverse completely, because it is way too convoluted to try and unravel actual Greek mythology after it's gone through an all audiences approved filter. But very quick recap of the movie, in case you somehow can't remember it. Disney's Hercules starts with a new baby god, Hercules, being born, and Hades wanting to overthrow Zeus. The fates reveal that Hades has a shot in exactly 18 years to be successful with this coup, but if Hercules fights, then Hades is going to fail in taking over Olympus. So with clearly no other choice available, Hades sends his minions, Pain and Panic, to abduct freshly born baby Hercules. And the two demon goblin imps, they never really clearly specify it, they give the baby a potion that drains all of his godly powers out of his body. However, since a single drop of the potion wasn't ingested, Hercules was able to stay crazy strong, grow up to train with Philoctetes, fall for Megara, and become a true hero and eventually a god again. But there are a few areas that don't make sense in any part of this. Oh, also, there is a huge plot point where only gods can live on Mount Olympus. And we all accepted that just fine in 1997, but, why was Pegasus able to live on Olympus for all of those years then? He wasn't a god, he did not glow. Zeus just made him out of clouds to be a pet. Kind of like how a Targaryen shares its crib with a dragon. I guess gods share their cribs with magical horses? And for that matter, between the giant gates and the godly powers, who exactly is doing the literal gatekeeping here anyways? Because Pain and Panic are able to stroll right into Olympus when they themselves are just lowly demons who shouldn't even be able to make it into the palace. I mean, is it magical or is it magical? At the end of the movie, they act like Meg can't even step a toe through the gate, but these two knobs can do whatever they please? I know Pain and Panic can fly, so that makes it a little bit different, but isn't there some sort of magical guard keeping regular demons and monsters and humans out of Olympus? Because if there's not, again, if Zeus isn't the one setting and enforcing the rules about who can be in Olympus, then who is? So Pain and Panic being able to steal a royal god baby is already highly suspicious. If any low-ranking monster can just wander right into Olympus, then why aren't there guards? Also, when Hades goes to the party for Hercules' birth, Pain and Panic are not there with him. So that further reinforces that those two shouldn't have been able to get in Olympus at all. I mean, the Playboy Mansion has gates, but they also have security guards because, you know, people can climb the gates if they really want to. The gods can't do better than Hugh Hefner? Next, once Hercules gets taken, Zeus and Hera sure do take their sweet time rushing to their child's aid when they hear unwelcome noises. From experience as a parent, if you hear something unsettling, you don't just waste time looking at each other when something goes bump in the night. You go into protector rescue mode and just run. You don't groggily sit up and go, oh, the baby that we just had, the baby that's defenseless, the baby that we left unguarded, that baby, oh, maybe we should check on what's going on. No, you hear clang, crash, bang at night and you make a mad dash for it because that baby might have fallen and broken their neck. Then, after seeing his son has been taken, Zeus just screams out, "No!" like Khan just wronged him. and we see lightning going haywire in the background, but again, Zeus is wasting valuable time and does nothing to stop Pain and Panic, who are not very far away at this point. Even if Zeus were a mortal guy, he should almost be able to see them at the point he finds the baby missing. In fact, it looks like Pain and Panic are at the foot of Mount Olympus when they try to off Hercules. Zeus could have gone after them and easily saved his son in time, but chose not to. Honestly, all of the evidence stacks up to imply that Zeus and Hera wanted this abduction to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe that the tension and contempt that Hades had for Zeus was genuine, but it's almost like Zeus was letting Hades play a game and pretending that he didn't know what Hades was up to. It's almost as if Zeus wanted Hercules gone so that he could trick some mortals into the free labor of raising his high-needs child. Think about it. Hercules was immediately found in a mortal state by a childless couple despite being in the middle of nowhere. I mean, at least to me, even though there's a town right there, it does look a good walking distance away from the base of the mountain. So having a couple desperate for a baby show up at just the perfect time is a little bit too convenient, especially after they say how they've prayed to the gods to give them a baby after all these years.
For so many years we prayed to the gods to bless us with a child.
And now, poof, here he is. Isn't that something? And Zeus and Hera knew exactly where Hercules was. There's even a song about having to watch him grow up from afar. Yet, there was nothing stopping Zeus or Hera, or both, from going to Earth and raising their son. After all, what is the lifetime of a mortal to an ageless god? Just the blink of an eye, right? But Megan, gods can't interact directly with mortals. That's why we see them on Earth in statue form. Wrong, actually. We know gods here can choose a mortal form because Hercules does it at the end of the film. And we know that Hercules didn't simply give up his godly powers because he is shown capable of switching back and forth in Kingdom Hearts. Now, we can argue whether or not Kingdom Hearts should be canon here, but I did say we would stick to the Disneyverse, and that is part of the Disneyverse, so checkmate. Plus, as far as the gods being around humans go, Hades himself does not have a godly glow, and he interacts with Meg, hangs out in the cave near humans while the Hydra is attacking, and appears directly in front of mortal Hercules at his training camp on Earth to make a deal with him. So we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is possible for the gods and the mortals to commingle. Now, even if we try to say something like, well, Hades has some special exception, but the regular gods can't be around mortals. Flippin' Meg gets flying nimbused up to Mount Olympus at the end of the movie, and she sees all of the gods just a few feet in front of her face. So, no, I'm calling shenanigans. Even if Zeus and Hera had to pop back home from time to time to handle the royal business, there is no logical reason why they couldn't have been raising their own son on Earth, unless the issue is that they really didn't want to. It's also peculiar that Zeus and Hera never have any other children in the Disneyverse, so they obviously weren't concerned with producing an heir, which, yeah, I guess does make sense, as gods are never supposed to die. Hercules was a leisurely endeavor, not a political one. But it seems here that the gods just stop aging one day between 25 and 50, and that is their forever body. So Hercules wasn't needed on Olympus in any stretch of the imagination. Plus, isn't it kind of funny that Hercules manages to not become a god until he's 18 years old to the day? I mean, we have roughly a 14-year-old Herc meeting Stone Zeus for the first time and being told that he must become a true hero to be a god, or else Hercules cannot come home to Mount Mount Olympus. Then his dad summons Pegasus, who is not a god, yet lives on Mount Olympus. And then Zeus sends Hercules away to train with Philoctetes for years and years. Then, years later, Hercules goes to Thebes and repeatedly risks his life by killing giant monsters and capping volcanoes and all the weird heroic stuff. Yet, none of that counts towards being a real hero. What? That title only works when Herc unknowingly sacrifices himself to get Meg. Which, let's be fully clear here, Hercules had no clue that jumping into the river Styx was meant to kill him. That's something that Hades called out after he dove in.
Oh, you know what slipped my mind? You'll be dead before you can get to her. That's not a problem, is it?
And somehow, that action is what counted for a godhood status, but not the countless times he already readily risked life and limb to save a whole city filled with a bunch of randos. How does this point system work? Who is making the deciding calls here? Oh wait, that's actually another interesting point, because becoming a god meant becoming a hero. And even though the muses are the proclaimers of heroes, and, they sang that whole song about Herc being a hero.
Zero to hero, no time flat. Zero to hero, just like that.
Zeus is still like, no, you're not a hero yet, and pieces out of the conversation as soon as Hercules had a feeling about that. This is a man who did not want to parent a child, and it shows. Hercules does not get an offer to return home until he's 18 years old to the day. And at that point, whether Hercules comes home or not, Zeus and Hera can be all like, no, son, you're grown and your own problem now. Figure it out. I mean, even when Herc first meets Zeus as a statue, Zeus is all like, sure, your mother and I loved you. Yeah. We wanted you, but someone stole you from us. Yeah, that sounds good. That's it. Yeah, that's why I couldn't be a father to you. Whew, good save there, Zeusy. So, for the muses to say that Hercules is a hero and Zeus to say, no, you're not only is Zeus overstepping and undermining the position of the muses, but Zeus is finding any excuse he can to not let Hercules come back to Olympus before he's 18. So, since Zeus is able to say, no, you're not a real hero yet, even though that's somebody else's department, that shows that Zeus is the one setting the rules. Truly, these are supposed to be all-powerful gods who can move heaven and earth. Do you really think that Zeus and Hera couldn't have done something to get their son back? Certainly they could have, but instead they shifted the burden of responsibility to a minor, and he's forced to figure out the impossible task of what it means to be a hero. That was just busy work to keep the boy out from underfoot. And even going a step further, do you really buy that all of these powerful beings in Olympus could not see Hades as a potential threat? That none of the other gods ever spoke to the fates and got the same kind of prophecy to warn Zeus? And you can really believe that two, not one, but two bumbling imps could sneak into Olympus, outwit every god up there, steal a baby, and conveniently not be found until that baby was immortal? They didn't even get that far away! The truth is that Zeus and Hera were callous parents who wanted the status symbol of a new baby without dedicating the time and energy it takes to raise a child into a god. So when they caught wind of Hades' plan, they just went along with it, feigning surprise and likely manipulating Hercules' foster parents into finding him, and then Zeus and Hera just sat back and watched, pretending to be devastated while their child-rearing labor was done by the schmucks on Earth. Look at the story and how things happened and try to tell me I'm wrong, I dare you. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, "Hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that?" Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Family and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos, like you, helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members. Bye.